Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Kenlock.
Present.
Commissioner Clemente has requested an excuse. Commissioner Baydun.
Here.
Commissioner Palomero.
Here.
Chair Mareki.
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Okay, thank you. Next item.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
My only remarks are welcome to Commissioner Anderson and Commissioner Wilson for joining us today. Next item.
C, approval of the July 8th, 2025 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Okay. You would approval and support. Any questions, changes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
We also have our tablets.
Oh, we're all on the table. Thank you.
Commissioner Kenlock. Motion carried.
Okay, next item.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
All right. Next item.
Moving to item 1, under new business, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 4-year professional services contract with the 1-year option to renew with HNTB Michigan to continue professional engineering services for the Allen Road grade separation project.
Okay, any questions on this? Or come on. Great. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, everybody. Sam
Okay.
McCaldy, Director of Engineering, Highway Engineer.
So just tell us about this.
Yeah, this is a bridge that we have been working on for a long time.
Is your mic-
Yeah, my mic is on.
Oh, it is.
Can
Okay.
you hear
Go.
me?
Yep.
Okay, I'll
go ahead.
get it closer. So yeah, this is an road bridge grade separation. We hired HNTB to be the CE. Their contract started a while ago. Now it's time to renew it because it expired this year. We're anticipating this bridge had some construction activity started sometime in May. And HNTB, they were overseeing these construction activities, and they're going to continue to see the entire construction of the bridge and the road portion for
Okay.
this project.
And there's no change in the dollar amount with it.
And not at this time.
Okay, not at this time. Yep. Any questions on this? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think you're, oh, I don't know if you or Parks or the next one. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Item 2, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to an addendum to a cooperative agreement with Orchard Hilton McClement to allow for the completion of additional work for construction engineering services for the replacement of the Hawthorne Bridge near Nankin Mills Interpretive Center at Hines Drive in the city of Westland.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Elizabeth Isdro, Chief of Planning Parks.
Hey, just give us an update
Yeah.
on this.
So this was the engineering firm doing construction oversight for the bridge replacement across from Nankin Mills.
Mhm.
So it's just finishing that contract out because it expired before
All
the
right.
project was done.
Any questions on this? All right, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, next item, Madam Clerk.
Item 3, requesting commission approval of a purchase and sale agreement with Randy Hayes and Patrick and Cynthia Misford for the purchase of approximately 1.47 acres at 8004 North Farmington Road in the city of Westland.
Hey. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Gregory Hurst, Director of Facilities Management and Planning.
Elizabeth Isler, Chief of Planning Parks.
Thank you for being here and tell us about this.
So I'll kick it off. So this is a property that is adjacent to approximately 9.88 acres that the county purchased several years ago, which is on one side of the property in question here, or that's being presented. On the other side is Hines Park. What we're looking to do is to add, this is pretty much the, when you look at the an aerial view of this property, this is kind of the last puzzle piece for the county to have continuous ownership of that particular area of Hines Park. And so we're bringing this in front of the committee today to discuss the approval of purchasing that last piece of land for us to have ownership as a county for, like I say, for Hines Park and for that continuous ownership, access, and that's where we are today. So I'll stop there for questions.
Okay, well, I'll just start with a couple. What kind of access to
So
that?
currently, there is The property that was purchased is more of a wooded area.
Mhm.
And leading up to the new property in question is, it's a road, a dirt road. To the left of the property, if you could imagine, there's a school. To the right, all the way from the main road leading up to this property, it's 9.8 acres, almost 10, of course, that the county purchased and that we currently have ownership of. So what this allows us to do is, once you get past that 10 acres, that's where the property sits. And it overlooks one of the bridges, I believe, and I'll let Elizabeth kind of elaborate on that, but one of the newer constructed bridges, pedestrian bridges, I believe, that's there on site. So you have kind of the creek, there's a bridge, and this property sits up a little higher. And what it allows us to do, it connects you directly to the park. And so the purpose of the ownership there is you could have road access directly to that portion of the park, which eventually could turn into something else separate once, you have ownership and the planning can take place. So then there's potentially more access to the pedestrian crossing, and then the rest of the park that it's directly adjacent to. So I'll stop and let Elizabeth elaborate.
Yeah, no, what he's saying is correct. We've looked at a lot of planning with Hines Park and how to connect our communities to Hines, and that one piece is actually kind of in the way between the property we purchased and then access into Hines from the areas to the south of along that area. So
And
It'll-
as I recall, I'm just going to say one more comment that I'm going to open it up to the other commissioners. As I recall from reading, we purchased that 9.5 acres for $250,000
right.
Correct.
5 years ago, 6 years ago.
2022, I believe.
Oh, 2022.
Yeah.
So now this 1 point, not even half acre is now going for 500,000.
Correct. So that there was an appraisal conducted. The appraised value, which we've submitted, of course, is 440,000. That was done early 24. So we've been working on this deal for quite a while. But that was the appraisal value was 440,000. So we're very close to the appraised value for the purchase price.
Okay, I'm going to open it up to commissioners first. Commissioner Wilson.
Thank you, Chair Marecki. Appreciate that. Just reading through the notes here, it appears as though we're going to purchase the property for $499,000. I think there's a house that sits on the ledge that's a part of the property that we're trying to purchase,
That's correct.
not to exceed $50,000 in closing costs. So total price is about $550,000.
Correct.
Also sort of gleaned from the information here is that there's a possibility this home that the county is anticipating purchasing is it can be converted for strategic purposes into some type of a gathering spot for county officials, for training, for education, and all that type of stuff. So my underlying point, I guess, is that is this property we're trying to purchase to connect the communities, or is it trying to purchase a home so we can overlook Hines Park with a possible gathering spot for local officials?
Great question. Did you want to take the?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's both. I think from a parks perspective, we're mostly concerned with keeping our kind of borders protected, as you say. If someone bought it and wanted to, build a much bigger house or change the, zoning or something, we just wouldn't have that control. So we're, it is obviously more, I think, with the house on it and all that, but it does kind of help with that connection. It's harder to get around if we didn't have that if we didn't have that parcel to get to the bridge that was the one before us to replace, then it does make it more complicated. So I guess from Parks perspective, that's the main reason, but it does have the opportunity for other uses.
Thank you.
I think
Commissioner,
sorry. Go
oh, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think when we look at that, it is technically zoned as residential and there is a home there, which is more of the bonus, in this case, where it's something that could be slated for a different use or, to the Commissioner Wilson's point, potentially a meeting spot. Those things would be planned later. I think the bonus of the property is that it does actually have a structure that is in good condition that we would be able to, with further planning, figure out the best use for that. But I see that as more of a bonus on the site.
The house is about 100 years old, over 100 years old,
It's-
125 years old.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'd have to look it up in the appraisal, but I'll say just from structurally the house, and we haven't done our due diligence. So that would technically be the next step. What you would be approving is for us to, so you're approving, of course, the purchase agreement, but within the purchase agreement, we would still go back and do the due diligence to ensure that the property still states, from the soil to from the home that's on the property, we would do our due diligence to make sure that that's still maintains its investment that we anticipate.
Yes, thanks, Madam Chair. I'd like to ask Commission Counsel, has there been any issues with unpaid property taxes on this parcel? And if so, how does that impact this matter?
Through the chair to this honorable body, our understanding is yes, that there is a history of late taxes where the property will not, the taxes would not be paid, it would be forfeited, but before it's foreclosed, the property taxes would be paid. The treasurer's office did confirm, because initially when we talked to the city, there were several years outstanding, and according to the city, it should have been foreclosed. When we talked to the county treasurer's office, they actually confirmed that 2018, 19, and 21 had eventually been paid before they actually foreclosed on it. So, but we weren't sure about 22 and 23. We just found out that actually those top property taxes have not been paid, and so far it's in forfeiture. And so the issue with the property taxes will have to be addressed. And we did inquire of the department, and they indicated that they would, through this purchase, I guess, have the property taxes paid. But right now, there has been a history of delinquent taxes, and there currently are delinquent property taxes on the parcel. In addition to that, since if I can add a little context and history, so when the county purchased those 9 acres, this portion of the property was also anticipated to be purchased. Our understanding was that ultimately the county didn't move forward at that time because they couldn't negotiate a reasonable price for the purchase. But at that time, we were looking at, I believe it was $200,000, just looking back at our analysis for that particular portion. So it's not clear how a few years later, we went from $200,000 to 400, to the price that we're at today, seeking that, especially considering that it may end up in foreclosure at some point. I think the other piece of that is that if the county did purchase it, we were told that there was no plan right now to actually, or budget to convert it or renovate it. It's zone residential. It's our understanding when we asked that the community have not been approached, the municipality, to determine what they're willing to rezone it to. I know that we talked about access. I don't know how you'll get access for the public unless you build up that dirt road and then maybe build a parking lot there, because unless they're parking on the grass or something. But then if it's a meeting space, is that really access? So it's just been a lot of questions going back and forth, and it hasn't been clear on the actual use, the reason why you want to buy it. And if you do purchase it, what is the plan and the budget? And if that plan and budget is actually in the county coffers in order to convert it to make it a reasonable purchase. The purchase price has been a concern. In addition to that, the deed, and I think this is one of the bigger issues. Looking at the property tax records and recently the deed, which we finally saw, it says that it's owned by one individual. I won't mention names, one individual. However, this agreement is with 3 individuals, but there hasn't been any clarity on who actually owns the property and who you're paying. And we haven't, and that's something that should be very clear before we approve any purchase agreement. And that has not been clarified as far as the actual ownership of the property. Forget who may have had of interest when we purchased the 9 acres back when. Who owns the property today has not been clarified to know who you're even entering into an agreement with. At this point, we're not confident that the right owners, or there may be too many individuals on this agreement. And that needs to be clarified, I believe, before a minimum, before you move forward with this agreement.
Commissioner? You have more? Commissioner Kinlock?
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, a lot. Okay, Madam Chair, this isn't based on what's discussed in a position for us to move forward with this. Madam Chair, I move to pass for today.
Okay, pass for the day means we get it in 2 weeks.
Yes, and that means that hopefully they get it dealt with, or what's your thought on this piece?
I don't know. My thought at this point is to axe the whole thing.
I think further discuss, you should have further discussions with them and just figure out, and then we'll determine at the next meeting to, if they can't answer, then I would concur with that.
Okay, so if we table it, it comes back before December. And I have some more questions before we even, and Glenn, did you have some questions?
I would just add, basically that some of the things that's been said already, it was a point I was going to make because I've not been able to determine that there's any plans for that property, and that they've even gone to the city and gotten any approval. So I think that's, like the saying about putting the cart before the horse. I think to buy the property and not know what the plans are and have a more solid, that house is, as you said, probably built in the
It's
early
1900. It's 1900.
Yeah, 1900. And it's on a gravel road. So I agree that having continuous connection between the property and the park is a good idea. But the price too is another thing that just seems way out of the ballpark.
So
If
I have a,
if I could, Chair.
sure, go ahead.
Thank you so much. For the sake of being rhetorical,
Sure.
to me as a layman, it would appear as though the owners, I'm subjected to lose the house anyway because I haven't been paying my taxes. The county takes a hold of the property. You definitely ain't getting no $500,000. So just again, from my perspective, it looks like a grab from the potential owners. 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, they're losing a home anyway. They got the county to pay $500,000. I got a Brinks truck parked out there. So that's just my determination. Thank you.
And I just want to, I know Elizabeth was here back when we were selling the Newburgh Mill, and that, like our attorney said, that piece had been looked at to possibly put the barns there, but he was charging too much. So then focus was put onto the Dearborn Heights area so it sounds like it was much cheaper back then, and we thought it was too expensive for the horse barn area. So now I think it's doubled from what Felicia said. So all of a sudden, we want this piece of property when we couldn't put the barns there, which had been determined to be a pretty good spot, as I remember. There might be some other details I'm forgetting because it was quite a while ago. So there's just a lot of stuff here. Sir.
Question to Felicia, like what has been discussed this morning, this property has been on again and off again, foreclosed. And so it does seem kind of out of just the realm of understanding why we would pay $500,000 when the property currently is in foreclosure. My question to Felicia is, where would eminent domain come in regarding this? Because I keep hearing public interest. This is a clear public interest, and what I'm hearing the department saying the need for acquiring this property, not to mention the statute protects fair, equitable value of the property as far as setting what the price would be. So I'm just saying, so if we see it as there's a public interest, and it's not as if this is a primary use for this guy or priority for this property owner or property owners, that Felicia, to our council, is eminent domain and available or an option for the county in this instance.
Through the chair, I don't have enough details regarding the actual need for this to make that determination. I don't think anyone, at least from our perspective, has looked at eminent domain at this point. I'm not sure that we're there yet. It is something that if county determines that it's necessary, Corp Council can look into. But Commissioner, to be honest, I'm not sure at this point that we're at that point to have that discussion with regards to actually just taking someone's property from them. You may have an opportunity in a few years to just have the property based on the history of the taxes. This county will get some level of right of first refusal, the city would. So in a few years, the tides may be very different with regards to this property and the availability of it.
Okay, to the department, how urgent is this property? I mean, we had the opportunity to purchase it a few years ago. How urgent is it as relates to whatever plan, strategic or otherwise, that the department see the need for this property at this time?
Yeah, I guess for me, what you were asking, Felicia, from a trail connecting standpoint, it would be connecting, north of there with a trail, not utilizing the gravel road or anything, or even utilizing most of that site. I think, again, from our standpoint, it was just, from what we were told, it was available and this, package was put together, but it's really more, we have to, we just keep an eye on properties that come available around our park system. And so if it came up and, that was part of our interest, if it is possible to have, a first right of refusal over time, that's, also fine. I think from my instant, it's not an immediate need, but it's something that we were just hoping to, keep an eye on, that it wouldn't become another parcel sold adjacent to the park.
And I agree that it should remain as on your radar. Okay, thank you for that.
And
You-
also,
you can-
you know, say just two more points, just so, for clarification. One, the price came, the market was dictating the price, and that would be the difference between if it was discussed in 2022 or prior, it's really the market at this point. What we are, making sure that we do as a department to support departments with purchases of properties, we use a third-party appraiser so that we can get the market of, value. We also do broker's value, opinion of value. So we may do that up front, but then we always go back and follow that up with a third-party appraisal. And that's where the higher cost came from.
You did say that there was an appraisal done for 400, it came at 400.
I came in at 440.
Okay.
It did. So the other thing is, as far as immediacy, just in conversations, we do know the owner was looking to put it to market, or at least that was what was communicated. So that also kind of led to the point of, hey, this property is available. We're working with the owner and just, working with the department. That's kind of where we came to the point where, hey, this may be a good time to look at the purchase. So just wanted to leave the commission with that.
Okay,
Chair?
yes, go
Thank
ahead.
you. Just quickly, I just want to, for correction purposes, it says the purchase price is 499,000.
That is correct.
And you said 440, so.
So 440 is
And then
the appraised
50,000
value.
not to exceed closing costs, so that's
Correct.
549, right?
Correct.
So that's, okay, so did I miss something? I'm sorry.
No, you're
Thank you.
absolutely correct, Commissioner. So the actual sale price that ended up being negotiated with the D for this deal was $999. The appraised value came in at $440,000. So, yep.
That's reasonable. A counter, if I own the property, yeah.
440, you'll give another 50,000.
A counter, I mean,
50,000.
public use.
I understand. I think thank you. Yep, thank you all very much.
So a couple of things. So the title workup will not be done until the property is purchased.
Correct. So if this were to move forward, what you would be approving is for us so the sale price, you do approve that, and you're approving the next steps which are the due diligence, which includes environmental studies. We get to take a look at the property. It also allows us to renegotiate if there are issues. So that's within the purchase agreement. Along with that is I'm sorry, losing my train of thought. We get an opportunity to, you could. So if it comes back that under our due diligence, there are concerns or issues, we have an opportunity to go back and discuss. We would not move forward. Oh, I know where I was going. So for title, taxes, things like that, water bills, utilities, all of those things are in the purchase agreement to ensure, and it's stated that those are the responsibility of the owner. So in this case, the owner would be responsible for any back taxes, utilities, and the like.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not a real estate person, but I've never heard of a title workup after you purchase a property. I just think that's kind of weird, but Do you know what the assessed value is of that property?
440,000.
Well, 440, but like what?
Oh, you mean for like taxes?
Yeah, I mean,
So for, on the owner side, the assessed value that he would be, she would be
Okay.
assessed for the city?
yeah, by the city. Yep, I'm sorry. Assessed value by the city.
I got you. I don't have that in front of me. I'd have
Because
to
that's a
look it
good
up.
question to find out about that. Okay, so it's looking like it wants to be a retreat area, but maybe not a retreat area. I don't know. There's a lot of $500,000 of taxpayer money is a lot of money, especially when we thought 250,000 a couple years ago was too high for this property. So that's where I'm having an issue, and an owner that we don't even know who the owner is. All these back taxes. In March, it looks like it could be going into foreclosure because he's not up to his taxes at this point. So I am going to, no, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just for the record, I'm going to be abstaining from voting on this property, on this item, because I had looked at it within my capacity as a real estate broker a couple years ago. I never had it listed or did anything with the owner. I feel more comfortable abstaining. But just to clarify on the issue of title, when you buy a property, you do want to have a title commitment issued at the closing. You have to know what's on the title. You don't buy title insurance after the fact in case there are any issues. Just for the sake of our commissioners who are asking about the title insurance policy. So the seller, yes, will pay for the title insurance policy. They're responsible for back taxes, but the title insurance policy will ensure that new owner that there's no legal issues or any delinquencies or any liens on the property. That's why you buy a title insurance policy. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that clarification. Any other questions? Any comments by you guys? Okay, go ahead, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, based on the tone and tenor and substance of what we've heard today, the pause button's about to be hit. The only question is, for how long? For weeks or months or forever? And the first pause is for weeks, if it's passed for the day, and I can support that. But clearly, this matter needs some additional work.
And I will trust the, leave it up to the chair in between the meeting to determine the next steps at the next meeting.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so let's take our agenda, the three items, and why don't we do that separately? If there's no more questions. Okay. All right, Madam Clerk,
Okay, so which one did you want to take first?
number one, number two, and then number
Okay.
three.
Go back. Okay, so we need a motion for item,
One and two we can take.
okay. So a motion for items 1 and 2.
Move to approve item 1 and 2. Support.
All right, and you can vote.
Wait, 1 second.
On your.
Okay, so we had a motion by Commissioner Kinlock, and who supported?
They doing.
They don't, okay. We can vote now.
This is for items 1 and 2.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. And then for item 3, we are going to pass it for the day.
So move.
Support.
Okay. Everyone can vote on this. So pass it for the day. It comes back in a couple weeks, and in between that time,
You'll be doing your due diligence.
and I'll be passing on my due diligence.
No.
Motion carried. We have an abstention by Commissioner Baydun.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Next item.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
Okay, I've heard of none. Next item.
G, public comments.
Okay, do we have any emails?
No emails are received.
All right, anybody on Zoom that you can see with their hands up?
There are no hands raised on Zoom.
There's anyone on the phone or on Zoom that would like to address the Committee on Public Services, go ahead. 2 minutes. Okay, anyone here in the audience that would like to address the Committee on Public Services? All right, hearing and seeing no one, next item.
Adjournment.
All right.
Support.
All right. We are all adjourned. Thank you, everyone.